to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. Got another Scent Safari episode for you guys today. For those of you who don't know how Scent Safari works, basically what I do is I reach out to a house that I don't have that much experience with, usually a house that I don't own anything from, and I ask them if they'll send me some samples. When they do, I pick at least 4. If they send me more, I pick 4. If they send me less, obviously I do less, but I pick 4 that I'm interested in, and then I smell them for the first time on camera. And what I'll do is the day of the video, a couple hours before I film, I'll put them on pulse points for first impressions, and then about 5 to 10 minutes prior to filming, I'll sort of refresh so that I have a good sense of how the fragrances develop. Now, Rania J is a house that I really first found out about on the Space Notes list of the 500 best modern perfumes of all time. It's been a really fun list for me to go through on my blog, maxmno.com, www.maxmno.com. I'm sort of working my way through the list and sort of trying to get my nose on as many as I can. And one of Rania's fragrances, Lavande 44, was on that list. And I just figured, hey, I want to reach out to her and try to do a Scent Safari episode on her fragrances. And so before we talk about the 4 fragrances, a little bit of background information. This house was started by a woman named Rania J. She spent a lot of her time, her childhood, in the Middle East and Africa, where she was surrounded by, aromas like jasmine trees and souks and African bazaars. And today she is a perfumer in Paris. And the scents are meant to be a reflection of her personality, authentic, original, natural, and sophisticated. And these really are meant to be worn as an accessory, like jewelry for the skin. It's also a very conscious perfume line, evidenced by the choice of raw materials, the bottles, the reduced packaging, all recyclable materials, no animal testing. So there's a lot of thought and consideration that really seems to be the hallmark of this house. As far as where you can check these out and purchase these if you're interested, in the United States, Twisted Lily does carry this line, and all the fragrances for the most part come in 50 ml EDP bottles, and they all go for around $149. Now, I'm not going to talk about the performance of each one because I want to tell you that these are all really beastly scents. They're EDP and they have real power, they project well, and they last on the skin for a long time, and they have really nice development. So let me just start by saying that. The first one I want to talk to you guys about is this one. This one is called Ambre Loup. And this one came out in 2012. And the notes on this one are, you have an amber accord, you have woody notes, you have labdanum, vanilla, tonka bean, gaiac wood, oud, and vetiver. And I love this fragrance. This is a gorgeous amber fragrance. It's one of the best beastly ambers that I have ever smelled. It's funky, it's sweet, it's earthy, it's dank. To me, it has like a root cellar vibe. It's very sweet and earthy, and it has almost, and I mean this in a good way, a muskiness to it. It's, if you like the ambers like Amber Absolute or Ambre Rousse or Ambre Sultan or Arabi by Serge Luton, you need to get your nose on this one. This is really in the style of all those. It's got a little bit of powdery sweetness to it, like say Ambre 114 by Histoire de Parfum, or the amber fragrance by Maître Parfumé Gantier. But this one is just really more about like a hardcore earthy dankness that I just think is beautiful, and actually a hallmark of many of Rania's fragrances. So this one is a huge winner for me, definitely something that I could see being bottle worthy. The next one I want to talk to you guys about is called Oud Assam. Oud Assam was a 2013 release. It features notes of bergamot, sweet and bitter orange, Indian oud, cedar, vetiver, frankincense, pepper, tonka, and musk. And for me, this is one of those ouds that you kind of have to love animalic, funky ouds to like this one, because this one, as a female friend of mine told me, sort of smells like like horse manure. And I could see where someone not into scents thinks that, and it does open up somewhat funky. This is funky oud that reminded me a little bit of some of the Xerjoff oud star scents that are double the price of this. It's very funky for the first 15 minutes or so, but to me, it's also very herbal and very green. I get the vetiver here, I get the pepper in this. It's got a greenness that opens up after some time. I'm smelling it now on my wrist. Unbelievable performance on this one. This one changes and evolves on the skin actually several times. You get your money's worth with this and with Ambre Loup for sure. They perform well, and they're constantly shifting. I actually prefer my ouds. Guys who watch my channel know I prefer my ouds a little softer and smoother, but I think this is a beautiful fragrance, and I don't think you should be scared off by this one. It's got a little bit of barnyard to it, but it really settles down nicely and gets green and opens up a little on the skin later. The next one I want to talk to you about, Lavande 44, is the one that sparked my interest in Rania's fragrances. And the notes in this one are bergamot and petitgrain at the top, lavender in the middle. Now that's an essential oil of lavender and an absolute. And then you have a base of oud, labdanum, vetiver, tonka, and musk. Now this one was number 484 on the base notes list, and this one is rightfully there. Now, lavender is not a note that I love, but there's one scent for me that is sort of king shit when it comes to lavender. That is Check and Speak's Oxford and Cambridge, and that is a mix of lavender with oak moss and thyme and peppermint. And to me, it's very gentleman-like. This one for me is more about real lavender, and it's not so much about bringing the herbal side out with the lavender as much as it's about bringing the funkiness out of the lavender. You get the labdanum and the oud, but there's still this homage paid to the classic lavender scents, because you've got the citrus and the bergamot at the top, which gives it sort of that gentlemanly barbershop vibe. Then you get the woody orange element from the petitgrain, but the lavender here is funky. It's green, it's very virulent. It's super exciting, and probably, to me at least, this is right there for me with the Check and Speak in terms of lavender fragrances that I love. This is bottle worthy. This one is definitely a fragrance that I would be purchasing. It's a lavender fragrance unlike I've ever experienced before. I mean, I guess the best way I can describe it's like the carnal side of lavender. And Rania sent me another little bottle of it, and you can see it's got this greenness that real lavender, I guess the absolute, has. So that green color, and it's just really herbal and bright and beautiful. That's the best way I can describe it, and perfectly unisex. Sometimes lavender either gets associated with gentleman scents or grandma scents, but I think this one is perfectly fine for anyone and very much unisex. Now the last one I want to talk to you about is this one, which didn't come with a little sleeve, but it's just called Tea Habanero. And this one was a 2014 release, so I think it's Rania's latest. And the notes on this one are cardamom, black pepper, red sandalwood, olabanum, myrrh, oud, and tobacco. Now, to me, this one is a total tobacco scent, and that's what this one is about for me. Tobacco and a little bit of oud. I guess inspiration is, I read sort of about Cuban nights in this one. I get that very spicy. There is smoke to this one. It's sort of sultry. It's sort of dark and mysterious, but yet familiar with that tobacco leaf note really running through the gamut of this scent. It doesn't speak to me the way that the others do. I don't know why. There's some tobacco leaf notes that I don't love, and this actually is one of those, but it's still very well made and very different from these. I don't think this one is like, these all have very earthy and darker, danker qualities. This is a little bit brighter. I'm not sure why. Maybe that pepper makes it a little bit brighter for me, and the spice, where these have a lot more earthiness to this. But this one does have a labdanum and myrrh and oud. I don't know. I just think they're different for me. These like have a commonality that this one doesn't. I'm not saying this is a bad scent. I'm just saying I don't love Oud Assam. I like it a lot. It's not really my thing, but I love these two, and I would wear Oud Assam. I don't know that I'd wear Habanero, but that's just me. So, wow, guys, check Rania J out. If you like amber scents, you gotta check out Ambre Loup. If you're interested in lavender, you gotta check out Lavande 44, and you gotta check out Oud Assam if you're an oud lover, because this is a really great oud scent. I know my oud fans will love this one. She also sent me Rose Ishtar and Jasmine Kama, which I have not had a chance to check out yet, but I let my female friend take a look at these, and she really liked them. So females, feel free to check anything that Rania makes out, because I have total confidence in her as a perfumer. She's doing something different, and she's taking risks, and she's doing it at a great price point, and I think that's amazing. And so I'm really happy to have been able to feature this line on Scent Safari, and I definitely plan on getting a bottle of Lavande 44, possibly Ambre Loup as well. And that's it, guys. If you have any questions on this house, I'd be more than happy to try my best to answer them, and I'll see you guys later this week with more videos, guys. You know what it is. Easy come and easy go when it rains. So I ain't got my feet to let me go. Ain't got my feet to let me go. Ain't got my seat to let me go. But I better see this.